Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us here on THV 11 Plus. Ashley's back with us. Karen is here. Simone in for Tracy.
Yay,
and
Simone.
we are talking some cold temperatures this morning.
Boy,
Yeah, we got about one more hour before we start to get above freezing again.
right.
And once we get above freezing, we stay there. So that little
that's
taste of
good.
winter is going to be over with soon. Then we get back to our regular scheduled programming of feeling like late summer.
Yeah, so definitely have the
up to 80.
heated seats on and the heat going in the
Heated
cars
seats
this
on,
morning.
still probably want a hat on your head, maybe a scarf, dress in layers, because this afternoon we get into the 60s. You might not want the big coat this evening, but here's what things are looking like. That weather impact alert
Traffic first. Yeah, we're switching it up. Sorry.
Might as well.
Yeah, all right, let's see. Talking about those heated seats and having that heat on. We'll get to the weather here in just a few seconds because it's not going to take long to get through the traffic, thankfully, because there are no accidents to talk about right now. Things are looking pretty good, and this is what it looks like at the Alexander exit on I-30 right now. You can see volume is picking up just a little bit, but we don't have any slowdowns, and it looks good if you're coming in from Conway, Benton, or Cabot into downtown Little Rock. No issues to talk about. We'll get another check of traffic coming up in just a few minutes, but first let's see what's going on with weather because it is cold.
So our weather impact alert will continue through 8. That just gives us enough time for everybody to get above freezing, and then we don't have to say, cold weather preparation. But here's a look at how things look right now. 31 in the capital city, still feeling like 25 degrees. Pine Bluff is above freezing. Same in Hot Springs, but slightly feeling a little bit cooler. Batesville, another one starting to get above freezing. So we already have a few places on the board getting above freezing, but you see it still feels below freezing. It'll take a little bit longer for feels like temperatures to catch up, but those temperatures, air temperatures, again, will look like they'll get above freezing widespread by 8 o'clock. By lunchtime, we're in the 50s, and then this afternoon, looking to peak in the lower and middle 60s. We'll talk more about what the rest of the week entails in that 7-day outlook, so make sure you stick around.
Now to a major development in the government shutdown. The Senate has finally passed a deal to reopen the federal government.
8 Democrats crossing party lines to join Republicans pushing the bill through Monday night. The bill funds the government through January 30th and guarantees back pay for furloughed federal workers and restores key programs like food assistance.
The shutdown, now the longest in U.S. history, has forced thousands of workers off of the job and stalled critical services nationwide. Now what's missing? Democrats' top demand for extended health care subsidies.
Senate leaders are promising, though, that the subsidies expiring at the end of this year will get a vote next month. But the split is still considered by some as a loss.
Given the fact that, as everybody knows, what the fight was about was health care, it was a loss.
What's the point if the subsidies were the issue and that's not a part of the negotiated plan?
The measure now heads to the House, where House Speaker Mike Johnson is not yet saying when the bill will be voted on, but we do know lawmakers could take it up as early as tomorrow.
Premium tax credits are a key part of the Affordable Care Act, helping individuals and families manage the cost of health insurance. These credits were enhanced under the American Rescue Plan back in 2021 and have now been extended through the Inflation Reduction Act. But if they expire at the end of the year, experts say many consumers will lose that extra help and face higher health insurance costs.
Now 24.3 million people are part of the marketplaces. 22 million of those people, or over 90%, receive a premium tax credit. On average, KFF estimates that people will see their premium payments, the amount that they pay out of pocket to receive health insurance, increase by 114% next year. And that's purely just because of the loss of the enhanced premium tax credits.
Experts also warn that if millions lose coverage, many will delay care until emergencies, often without the funds to pay out-of-pocket costs. That could force hospitals to cover care up front.
While Washington works on the shutdown, millions who depend on federal aid are left waiting. SNAP benefits are still largely on hold after the weekend of legal back and forth, leaving families not knowing when help will come. So in Heber Springs, neighbors are not waiting for Washington. Local businesses and volunteers launched a drive called Neighbors Helping Neighbors, a community food drive that's already reaching families across Cleveland County. Michelle Belly helped start the initiative and says the impact goes beyond just food.
These are people who have already been through a lot. They're struggling a lot anyway, and they're trying their best. And, you know, food isn't a privilege, it's a right. And I think that everybody should have access to it. And so we're just going to do what we can.
More than 30 businesses are now part of the effort, filling bins that supply food pantries through the St. Francis Episcopal Church Resource Center. And THV 11 is proud to team up with Kroger and the Arkansas Food Bank for the THV 11 Turkey and Sides Drive. We didn't forget the sides. So we invite you to come join us this Thursday at the Kroger on McCain Boulevard in North Little Rock. Hayden will be out there in the morning. Come on by and say hi. Bring a non-perishable item of food, a cash donation. It's all to help families right here in Central Arkansas have a warm and joyful holiday season. Even with lawmakers inching toward ending the shutdown, the ripple effects at our airports are still grounding flights and disrupting travel in general.
So since Friday, more than 30,000 flights have been delayed and 7,000 canceled, impacting more than 5 million passengers, including some here in Little Rock. Now, the FAA plans to cut up to 6% of flights today, possibly reaching 10% by Friday if this shutdown continues. They are citing understaffed air traffic control towers and a surge in sick calls.
President Trump is now demanding controllers to return to work. He's threatening to have their pay docked for absences. And he's offering $10,000 bonuses for those who stayed on the job. But the Air Traffic Controllers Union is defending all workers asked to work without pay.
They must focus on childcare instead of traffic flows, food for their families instead of runway separation. This is not politics. This is not ideology.
Right now, private jets are restricted at a dozen major airports and major hubs like Chicago O'Hare, Atlanta, and LaGuardia, all seeing the largest disruptions.
The Arkansas Department of Agriculture is warning poultry farmers to stay alert for signs of bird flu after a confirmed case last month in a backyard flock in Mississippi County. Now, officials say it's the only case so far, but because the virus spreads easily among wild and domestic birds, farmers are urged to take those precautions. An outbreak could threaten Arkansas's poultry industry and may already be affecting turkey prices ahead of Thanksgiving. The department is reminding farmers to limit contact with wild birds, restrict visitors, and report any sick or dead birds immediately to the number on your screen.
Meantime, there is promising news for millions of people living with heart disease or high cholesterol. Drug maker Merck says its new daily pill can sharply cut bad LDL cholesterol by nearly 60% in early trials. The medication could offer a simpler, cheaper option than the costly injections currently on the market. Researchers studied about 3,000 adults who took the pill along with a daily statin, with both working in different ways to lower cholesterol. The findings haven't been published yet, and experts say it's still too soon to celebrate.
Until we see that data, you have to be a little skeptical. And then there are other things in terms of the study. They only looked at the LDL numbers. They didn't actually look at, did it prevent heart attack and stroke? And ultimately, that's what matters here.
Merck is expected to submit the drug for FDA approval next year, with it possibly becoming available in 2027. So far, no word on what the cost of the medication may be. Now let's get back to Ashley King and a check of the traffic this morning.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice so far this morning. We did have 2 accidents earlier today. Those are both clear now, and that didn't take very long to clear either, so it hasn't been much of an issue. Unfortunately, yesterday you all dealt with a lot of traffic issues, and today just seems like the volume is a little bit lighter than normal. This is what it looks like right now on 630, looking towards downtown Little Rock. You can see the state capitol there to your left. A beautiful morning, a little bit cold, which we're going to find out about here in just a second from Simone. But your drive times into downtown Little Rock, look at this. I mean, we're in the 7 o'clock hour already at 7:09, and you can see that we're still at 24 minutes coming in from Conway. The big surprise, only 17 minutes if you're driving in from Benton and 19 minutes if you're coming in from Cabot this morning. Simone?
Well, we had a few clouds to start the morning. We're starting to see some of those clouds break up outside, leaning mostly sunny through the rest of today. And of course, we had that cold start. Within the next hour, looking for the temperatures to get above freezing. It's still going to feel like it's below freezing, at least until 9 o'clock. By lunchtime, we start to get into the middle 50s. We'll see more of the lower 60s this afternoon. Feels like temperatures may be a few degrees cooler because we're going to have some pretty breezy winds today. Sustained wind speeds up to 25 miles an hour possible, with wind gusts up to 30 possible. So still going to be fairly breezy out there, but temperatures are getting warmer. Full details on what you need to know are coming up in that 7-day outlook.